Today I have a do-it-yourself tutorial for you guys, and it's been really highly requested. I wanted to get this in before Christmas because you can make this as a Christmas gift, and it's a chunky beret or beanie or hat or whatever. I'm not sure what's the correct term, but it's really chunky and cute. You can also add like a pom-pom on top. But all you'll need is yarn and a crocheting stick. Mine is by the brand Boye. I'll list it somewhere around here, and it's 5.5 millimeters. You can use any size crochet stick you want, but I prefer the bigger ones because it saves a lot of time. And let me show you how it looks like on. Let me lower myself a bit. Hold on. So it looks like this. Let me spin. And this is how it looks like in the back. And yeah, it's really easy to do. So even if you're a beginner or you've never crocheted before, I'm pretty sure you can still get this. So if you're interested, keep on watching. Okay, so starting off with your yarn, I wrapped it into a yarn ball because it gets less tangled this way, but you can use it in its original packaging. Okay, so to start off, I have the end right here. I'm going to wrap it around and create a knot. So just loop this through. And you find yourself this little hole and stick your crocheting stick through. Like so. On this side, wrap your index finger 2 times around. Then now you're going to create knots. And I am going to create 52 because that fits my head. After doing 52 knots, wrap it around your head. If you find that it is too loose, then let go of some knots. And if you find that it's too tight, then add some more knots. So what you do is holding it like this, go under the string right here in front of it. Go under, loop, that's 1, and then that's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and try to keep it loose, and I'm gonna do all the way to 52. Okay, so I have 52 done, and then you're gonna bring it into a circle. And then through that first hole, stick your crochet stick in, and it should look like this. Go under it, pull it around, and then go under and pull it through these 2 knots. Now we're going to start the pattern, and it's going to be the same pattern throughout. So what you do is create 3 knots at first. That's 1, 2, 3. Okay, so now we're going to begin the pattern. The first thing you do is go in front of the yarn, loop it over, go into the first hole right here. It should look like this. Loop this string through. Okay, now you have 3 knots on here, but okay, now you go under here and pull it just through 2. So you have 2 left, and then go under again and pull it through 2. Okay, I'm going to go again. So what you do is go under, loop, go through the hole, if I can find it, go through the hole, loop, now you have 3, 1, 2, 3, go under, pull through 2, go under, pull through 2. And you're just gonna go all the way around. Okay, so I'm now finishing up my row. I have one last hole to go through. And then you'll get back to the beginning. So remember the 3 knots we made earlier? Just stick your crochet stick to any of those knots. Go under this yarn and just pull all the way through. And every time we're starting a new row, we have to do 3 knots. So 1, 2, 3. And now we're going to use the same pattern, but we're just going to stick the stick elsewhere. So again, you're going to go under, and you're going to push the crochet stick through this hole, back through this hole, loop, and then go through 2 knots, and then go through the last 2. The next one, you're going to go in the back. So you're going to go under, from the back, push it through that hole, and then push it through this hole, loop, 2 and 2. Now we're going to go back to the front. So you're going to go through here, and then through the back now. So back, and you're just going to alternate front, back, and you should get a pattern that looks like this, and just go all the way around. So I've finished the first row, and I got back to the knot. Remember how we created the 3 knots? Now again, you're just gonna stick your crochet stick through any of those 3 knots and loop it through. So remember that every time you get to the last row and you see that 3 knot thing that we made, just connect it, and then you have to create 3 knots again. Now you're just going to do the exact same thing for 3 more rows. So again, this is the pattern. See how now this is puffy this way, and then this one is like sticking back, and then this one's puffy. That's why we use the alternating pattern. So I'll show you it again quickly. Just stick it through the first hole, and then through the second hole like that. Do 2, and then the back. Now the front. Sorry, I got confused for a little bit. And then now the back. And then now the front. So again, just do it for 3 more rows, and remember every time you get back to, the knotted, just connect it and then do 3 knots and then start your next row. So do 3 more rows. Okay, so I finished up the last row and I just connected it. Again, I'm gonna make 3 knots now. 1, 2, 3, and we're gonna begin a new pattern. What you do is, again, you're gonna go under, and you see how there's holes in between right here? You're gonna go through the first hole and do 1 stitch. Then the next hole, you're gonna do 2 stitches. So 1, 2 in the same hole, and then the next hole you do 1 stitch, and then the next hole you do 2 stitches in the same hole. So 1, 2.
Let's go do laundry, Tracy.
And then the next one, just do 1, and then 2, and you're just gonna do this pattern for 3 rows. After doing 3 rows, you should get a shape that looks like this. And then you're just gonna continue on from where you left off. So I'm gonna hook my last stitch right here. And then I'm gonna connect it. And then again, you're gonna do 3 knots. And then now you're just gonna do 1 in every single hole. So just go all the way around, just doing a single stitch in every hole. So I finished up my row, and now I'm gonna connect it. Sorry. Connect it right here. And then do 3 knots. 1, 2, 3. And now you're gonna go through every other hole. So I'm gonna go through the first hole. Skip the next one, and then go to the, go into the one after that. Okay, so I'm gonna skip this hole and go to the next one. So you're just gonna go through every other hole, skipping this one and going to this one, and just do 1 full round. So So now it should look kind of patchy, like there are holes in between. And this is how it looks like overall right now. Now we're going to start a new row. So do 3 knots. 1, 2, 3. And you're going to do 1 stitch per hole. So don't skip any. Just go through every single hole and do a stitch. So I'm just going through every single stitch and go 1 full round. After you finish the row, it should look like this. And make sure you connect it, and this is what it would look like after you've connected it. Now we're just going to do 2 stitch instead of 3, so 2 knots. And we're going to do a different stitching pattern now. In the first hole, you don't need to loop it anymore. Just going to go straight into the hole, loop it through. So you only have 2 right here, 2 stitches, and just pull it through. And then you're going to skip the first hole, skip the second hole, and go to the third hole. So just go straight in, pull it, and then pull it through both. Again, you're going to skip the first hole, the second hole, and go to the third. And again, skipping the first hole, skipping the second hole, and then going to the third. And you're just going to continue that all the way until the whole hat closes. So I'm just finishing up the last few stitches. I'm still skipping the 1, 2, and going to the third hole. And my last one, so skipping 1, skipping 2, and going to the third hole. And I should be finished now. It looks like this from the top. And there's gonna be a hole right here on the top, a really big hole. So you just need to kind of go across to the opposite side. Oops. Okay, so there's that big gap right here. And you just go to the opposite side, loop it through, and loop it like so to finish off the hat. And you're just gonna snip this off. So I'm just gonna snip this off and pull it through. Then you're gonna tighten it and then create a knot just to secure it. And then we're gonna stick this inside the hat like so. So you should be finished